All right, and we're back with Dwight. He just wanted to be a guest again. He can't get enough of this. I don't blame him. But Dwight, tell us what you just mentioned about having post anxiety with social media, because I think a lot of people have that. But I want to understand what you mean by that first.
So post anxiety, sometimes you take a really good picture and you're getting ready to post it, and sometimes you think about it too long, maybe let's say more than 5 seconds too long, and then you start thinking, how will the post affect someone? How does a post make you feel? Or pretty much what will be the outcome of the post? And you think about it, and then you change your mind and say, you know what, I'll post it later, or, maybe it's not necessary. And, you go on with your daily life, and before you know it, you realize that you didn't post it, whether it be a quote or a picture, just anything in general to post. I realized that after a while, like for me personally, I took a year break from Facebook. I thought I was like the man. I thought I was so important. And I have over 2,500 friends. And I realized that in the 365 days that I was not on Facebook, many of the Facebook, quote unquote, Facebook friends that I had didn't contact me except one. And I thought, man, I've been on Facebook for over 10 years. Maybe a friend would miss me or two. And I realized the disconnection that Facebook have with the real world, And so like not being on Facebook for a whole year, not posting, when I go back to post right now, I think about it a lot. And so normally I don't post because of that. And I classify it as post anxiety.
Post anxiety. So are you kind of, does the anxiety come about because you don't want to post these things and have maybe fake friends? Is that kind of what the moral of the story is? Like these people who are friends but only friends on Facebook? Is that what is the root cause is anxiousness?
I think it's more than one reason. For example, the effect. I think about the effect sometimes more than anything else, and sometimes just wanting to be politically correct. And sometimes I think about, do people want to hear what I have to say? And that matters. And I think we should not think about, or at least I personally, if I'm putting out positive energy, I don't think that I should think about it too much in terms of, am I going to get any likes? Will somebody have something negative to say about this? It should be, is this going to benefit the world? Yes or no? And I should go ahead and post.
Absolutely. And I struggle with the same thing too. I mean, I think everyone does. They're always like, oh, is this going to get a lot of likes? Is this good? And that's just a natural thing. But what I always, like personally, what I do to get myself to do something is I remind myself, okay, what is my intention with this post? If I like my intention, send it out there. And then I try to remind myself, whether I get a lot of likes, a lot of comments, little comments, to remind myself that it's not about me and it's just about that post in particular, and try to like kind of learn from it and see, why did this post get 100 likes and this one only get 50? What did they like about that one, and why wasn't this one as good? Maybe it wasn't even the content of my post. Maybe it's the algorithm that Facebook had. Maybe it was the time of the day that I posted. Maybe everyone was at work. Maybe it was a holiday. So there's so many factors that play into it that you try to just look at it to improve yourself strategically for the social media, but never take it personally.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard not to take it personal.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for me, I'm a very positive person, and when I'm getting ready to post, I'm thinking, man, how many people have heard this quote before, or how am I coming off as the happy-go-lucky, too positive kind of person? And I think after a while it gets nobody, for whatever reason, people are more interested. It seems that they're more interested in negativity, as opposed to, let's say, you make a post and you're starting a new job or just anything good, and or a quote, and it doesn't get much like, as opposed to something that's, let's just say, a little bit more negative, or a little bit irrelevant, whether it be, a TV show or something that just came on. Like,
Yeah.
it's more current, and I don't know, it's weird.
I see the same thing too, because a lot of because Gary Vee, you know Gary Vee, right? He
Right.
always says document, don't create. So a lot of things that we kind of struggle with, or that comes with post anxiety, is trying to create the perfect post or trying to create something. And he says, don't do that. You just document your life and what's going on. But what I struggle with documenting my life and what's going on is I'm a deep thinker. I like to think a lot. I like to think a lot of positive things, and I like to read a lot and like intellectual stuff. But every time I kind of post those things out, I always get the talk back, like, oh, are you trying to be a motivational speaker? Are you trying to I'm like, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm doing what you're doing. You're sharing your thoughts. I'm sharing what's going on in my head. But that connotation, even though I guess maybe it's not a bad thing to be considered, oh, are you trying to be a motivational speaker? But it even irritates Tony Robbins. He's like, I'm not your guru. Don't call me
Right.
that. So the same thing kind of happens to me too. But I kind of wonder, like you said, why do people, because if I can go ahead and post negative or something stupid about a TV show, like most people do, man, they'll accept it. I'll get a lot of likes. But why is it that people aren't so receptive to positive things, or why do they like the negative things? What do you think that is?
I think it's a failure to see the positive in their lives, and so people look for resonance. And so if something bad is going on where they feel it's bad, and they come across some information, it's easier for negativity to attract negativity, as opposed of positive attracting positivity.
Right.
I think that, there's a lot of positiveness going on Facebook, but at the same time, a lot of negativity in terms of manipulation, and maybe it's not even people. I think that sometimes a lot of the posts is not censored, but like you mentioned, algorithm.
Yeah.
I think that they target who they want to target, and that definitely have an effect. So let's just say you put out a post, and it's supposed to reach 100 people. It's positive, it might only reach 50 people because of what people are actually searching for. So if you're not searching for good, it's kind of hard for good to come to you.
Right. So I kind of think of it the same way. I kind of think of that people are, like, everyone has suffering and negative in their lives.
Right.
But they look for someone else who does, so they can say like, it's okay. They're also going through pain.
Yeah.
And then when someone kind of posts maybe positive, they just don't like it. But it's interesting because there's some social media accounts where it's okay. Like on Instagram, you're supposed to only post your highlights and all the great things. And you can't post like this is, this happened, this sucks, I'm struggling through this. Like, that's not okay on Insta.
Right. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
the best moments only.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's a good point. Facebook, I felt that it's kind of hard to live your truth. And for example, it's, you post your best picture, but it's only a moment. And then after that post, you go back to your usual life.
Right.
And then it's sometimes never your best moment. So it's finding that whole truth, that 100% truth. And that's where I'm struggling with, because Facebook it's all about perception and perspective. And sometimes it could send the wrong message if you don't pay attention carefully. And I've been a victim to that. Just, my experience, I've been on Facebook since 2003. No.
Well, I don't think it was out.
No. 2005.
Okay.
I remember when Facebook first came out.
Yeah.
We had to go to the office at my university to get our email, and we had a specific email address just for Facebook when Facebook was just for college students. So
wow.
just seeing
The early
how
days,
the
yeah.
early days, just to see how Facebook evolved and to what it is now. Being able to control people. I think it's a tool.
Well, here's an interesting topic, like you mentioned, because with Facebook, like you said, it's hard to be the whole truth, your whole self, because some people go out of their way and try to create a positive moment that doesn't even exist just to post it on Instagram or Facebook. And then some people, maybe you're just capturing a real positive moment, something that's actually happened, but you said, let's post this one. But what about the negatives? Because there are negatives. There are suffering times in your life. Do you post? Because the problem is, I feel like when I if I post something that's negative, like, oh, I'm struggling with this, I always want to end it with like oh, but really it's positive because I'm going to learn this from it, which isn't always true. Like there's some times where I'm just, where you're just suffering and you're just like, you're not thinking in a positive way, but we always try to, put a positive twist on it. Should you do that, or should you just be like, man, today sucks, I'm struggling with this, that's it?
It's hard to say what to do and what not to do, because people are looking for connections. People are looking for like-minded people. People are looking for people that have experienced what they're going through at that current moment. Personally, I really and truly don't post anything negative on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a firm believer that we should face our problem and not Facebook our problems.
That's a good one.
And most of the time we go to these social media outlets just to vent, just to express our thoughts. And sometimes it's not the best outlet because guess what? Today it might be right in the things that you say, but once you gain more understanding, when you change your mind, social media still remembers what you said. And those that read it, they know how you feel, they know what you think. So I think that posting negativity is not good because people always will judge you. And I think it's better if you post more positivity than negativity. People will be like, hey, this guy, he's always having good posts, or he's not the negative kind of person. And we know how we feel about negative people.
Right. I think I like what you're saying. I think a good way to incorporate the negative and make it into a positive is while the negative is happening, you don't post about it, but once you overcome it, then you post about it and you say, look, this is what I was struggling with and this is how I overcame it. So you show that like you do go through troubles like a normal person, but then there's a positive side to the story. Like this is how I overcame it so someone else can relate.
Right. And I think that happens like all the time. It's just that we hear from start to finish, so for example, oh my God, I just got in a car accident. And you hear the whole case,
right?
From what they were wearing before the car accident, and to what happened to the car, and 6 months later, and you hear from start to finish as opposed to hearing just the smaller details.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Facebook would function if people post less of. Well, I have an answer to be more superficial than what it is already. I think Facebook is so not real in terms of happiness, temporary happiness. People post, hey, they're happy, and it's temporary, and they, some people they post and they're them personally, and that they're posting a lie,
right?
And and I think that happens quite too often. Keeping up with the Joneses, you see a friend that's coming from a wonderful vacation. You really don't know how they got on the vacation, but it looks marvelous. So you want the same vacation, not knowing how much the person had to sacrifice to whether save for that vacation or just work hard for it. And so we see that moment summed up in a wonderful picture in a fantastic country, but you don't know their struggles. You don't know how they got there. And then for us looking from outside looking in, it's like, man, I want that vacation. But you're not willing to work for that vacation. You're seeing it through the eyes of someone that already accomplished it. And so it creates this keeping up with the Jones mindset that they do it, I want it too. And it's sometimes not fair.
Well, that's what you need to do, Dwight. That's the answer to your post right there. So when let's say you go on vacation to somewhere and you post a picture like, oh, I'm in Bali on the beach enjoying myself, put like in the caption like, this is what I had to do to be able to do this. The trip cost me $3,000 and I had to save for 10 months and I had to stay at the office or work longer or pick up extra clients in order to do this. And these are some of the obstacles in the way, but this is how I did it.
I mean, yeah, that's a great idea. And I try to, but sometimes I think, does it really matter?
Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't it matter? What do you like? I mean, we could really go deep there. Does anything matter? But like,
it does matter because at some point, if someone has seen a post, it's a great opportunity to influence that person. So at the end of the day, everything does matter. But sometimes when you want an excuse not to do what you're supposed to do, we could always lean on the decision that it really doesn't matter.
So you're just making an excuse to yourself.
Just
It's
making
like,
excuses.
It's like when you have an important task to do or a hard problem. What I do too, this is the sneaky procrastinators. We also do a hard problem, but it's just a little less hard to avoid the harder one. So we're still productive. We're just avoiding that thing that we really don't want to do. And that's
Yeah.
kind of what you're saying, like you're doing. Like you kind of like, because you can look at everything has two sides. It could be meaningful, it could not be meaningful, but you start to look at why it couldn't be meaningful and use that as evidence as to why you don't need to do this.
You know what? I think sometimes I'm on Facebook and I come across stuff that is totally irrelevant, or it's just like, man, I could have done without really and truly seeing this or reading this. So when it comes my opportunity to make an impact, I'm always thinking, will someone else receive it the way that I'm trying to put it out there to be? And I think that's why I stopped, because there's so much BS on Facebook that, you know, I just don't want to be another content creator of you know, stuff.
Well, you're going to stand out more because you're doing what everyone else isn't doing. And that's, you know, someone might need that. And that's how you're really going to kind of grow a following. But what I do, like you're saying, is I don't read Facebook posts or like keep up with Twitter or anything like that. I just go on to Facebook, post my video, post my comment, and that's it. Respond to the comments, but that's it. I don't read anyone's post.
I tried doing that, and I get a little overwhelmed sometimes with responding to the comments, whether it be, you know, timely, because that matters. Let's say you make a post and, you know, it takes you 48 hours to respond to a simple comment. It kind of takes the essence away from that current moment that, you know, when you did make the post or when that person did comment on it. So it's just a matter of being comfortable. Because I've tried that, like post it and forget it. But sometimes even with my setting up my post to forget it, I sometimes, you know, hit the delete button. And I don't know why, honestly, I don't know why I second guess myself with Facebook. I really think that it's because of that long year that I took off of Facebook, and realizing what Facebook is really made it difficult for me to be 100% engaged like how I once was.
Okay, so when you were 100% engaged, what was that? What did that look like? What were you doing compared to now? What's the difference?
More consistent posts. I was posting
Okay.
consistently.
Same type of content though?
Yeah, same kind,
Okay.
same type. Positive quotes. I was even making my own quotes in terms of, you know, a little picture and a background and putting the words there. That was really cool.
Why'd you say you took a year off? You said because you realized what Facebook was, or you took a year off and then you realized what Facebook really was?
Both. I kind of wanted some kind of growth. I wasn't sure what I was looking for going into getting off Facebook.
Yeah.
I just felt that Facebook was getting less real. For example, if I write that I'm happy, most people coin happiness with money. So
Right.
what was frustrating for me is just being happy because I woke up. And so I am so happy and grateful today. And all of a sudden I'll get a text message, can I borrow some money? It's like, wow. You know, like I'm really and truly just happy about life. You know, can't you just be happy about life too and not ask for money? So it got to a point where I couldn't really post my personal success without being asked for things. And
So you're saying people were asking you for money because you said I'm happy on Facebook?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's crazy.
Was it hard for you to say no to them, or were you able to be like, no, man?
It's hard and easy because the perception is that, you know, I'm super wealthy and I have it to spare, and, you know, money comes to me easily, but really and truly it doesn't.
Right.
Or, you know, especially at the time, if I'm really and truly just happy about just being in a moment of whatever I'm doing, and I'm just happy because, hey, I'm taking a walk at this wonderful park that I've never been before, and here I am today, and I'm just really happy about that. People will take it as, oh man, he must have some money, or he must got a new business deal. You know, let me ask him for some, and it's overcoming the perception that no, it's not like that. Can't be happy too. You know?
Yeah. Be happy. Well, what are the benefits to posting on Facebook to say that you're happy? Does that make you more happy? Does that impact other people? Like, what are the benefits? Because now we see what the cons are, but what are the pros to being back into fully engaged how you were? Like, why?
I think I'm a very grateful person because I came from far, and so I changed how I think. And sometimes I'm just like super, super, super grateful for whatever reasons. And I'm not, my posts are very simple. So I won't go into a full paragraph of why I'm happy. It'll just be that, I am so grateful. And it could just be that I heard a bird chirp.
Yeah.
And so sometimes for people to fully understand what I mean, it's almost that I have to explain it in an elaborate paragraph of my day yesterday, my current moment now, and what I'm looking forward to tomorrow, for them to really get the perspective that I'm just happy to be alive as opposed to be happy to be getting anything. Most people are looking to get something, where me, I'm just grateful every day I wake up. And
Right.
so, it's kind of hard when people are looking for something to receive when life is the best gift that they could have. And I have nothing more to give than my life.
Okay, so what are your goals with social media then, moving forward?
Moving forward, I definitely want to overcome the anxiety that I have in terms of posting. I still need to work on just saying fuck it,
Right.
really and truly, and just post how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and it takes a certain level of confidence to put your thoughts out there without being judged.
That's what I struggle more with, is putting out, your thoughts and the things that you kind of think without that fear getting into the way. Because that's what really kind of gets me or prevents me from making certain posts. Like those Facebook videos that I put out with me just saying like, oh, this topic's interesting to me, and just like kind of, I guess, teaching what I've learned. Because that's what I like to do. I like to learn and then teach it to other people.
Right, absolutely.
I feel hell of embarrassed to post those, but I get great feedback, but it's still really embarrassing and like awkward, and I don't rewatch the videos. It's very hard, and even other things, because I'm trying to be more active and post more on Instagram or Snapchat and stuff, but like other people, I see it kind of comes to them very easily, where they'll just post stupid things, just like them wearing a dumb hat, and for me it's like I feel like I can't post something unless it's truly great. Like, I can't just post random things. But what I've heard from Jordan Peterson, that helps people with social anxiety, so people who have a hard time being in public, interacting with people, what are they always doing? They're always thinking about themselves. They're thinking, okay, like, do I look dumb? Like, what are people thinking about me? And they're just kind of like so much into here. And what he says to do to combat that is start looking at what everyone else is doing. So start going and seeing like, okay, because this is going to tell you, and you can see their face, and you can see what they're thinking. If they are even thinking about you can see, okay, those two are in the corner. They don't even know I exist. They're deep in a conversation right now. Like, this is what you do if you're at a party and you feel anxious, or, okay, they're there. So you don't start to think like, do I look cool? Do I look awkward? Do I look weird standing here? You think, just people watch. What are they doing? What are they doing? And so how could you apply this to social media? Let's see. It's my first time thinking about it. Number one, stop thinking about what you're kind of doing, like, oh, how is this going to be perceived? Are people going to like it? Are people going to welcome it? And what he says is like that anxiousness, that anxiety, that you can't get rid of that, but you just have to think in a different way to combat it. Because suffering is inevitable, but you need to have something to fight back with it. And this is how you do it. So you start to maybe you should look at what other people are posting and be like, they kind of need this. They need to see this.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then I go through a moment where it's like, all right, I'm gonna post this, and this is how it happens. Let's say I'm reading something and I come across a really good quote, and I'm like, man, this quote is amazing. Let me post it, and then all of a sudden, I'll get a share, couple likes. It's like, wow, like I'm so glad that I did that. And then there's moments where I'll come across some information and I'm like, who the hell cares? And it's wrong that I don't post those, especially when I have those moments, because they say when you don't feel like doing something, that's the moment that you actually should do it. You know, like if you don't feel like going to the gym, go to the gym and you'll have a tremendous workout.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with posting on Facebook. I think that what I need to do is know why I'm posting it.
Yeah.
And not really care about the outcome. I think at least I am caught up with the outcome. And
As
in
we
terms
all are.
of how will it affect someone else. And I need to just let go of that and just say, fuck it. I
Yeah.
don't care who it affects. And I think that's why a lot of people post senseless stuff, is because they have this thing inside of them where they don't really care. You know, they don't care who it affects. They just want to express themselves, where, you know, some deep thinkers, they think in, out, away, everything, you know, from start to finish with the post, to even, oh, I have this quote, but I don't remember the person that said it. All right, I won't post it then. You know, no, go ahead and post it. You know, maybe someone else will resonate with someone else. And that's what I really need to focus on, the resonance of things and who I'm impacting as opposed to who I'm not impacting.
Yeah, absolutely. Because especially too, you got to keep in mind that when you feed into, whatever you feed into gets stronger. So
True.
Every time that you feel that nervousness or that anxiousness to make a post and you don't do it, that gets stronger. And now next time when you feel that anxiety to make that post, it's even harder than it was last time to make that post. And the way you have to, like you said, it's most important that you make that post, not even because you care about the impact, because you cannot let this thing get any stronger. Because when a good post does come around that you really need to post, it's going to be very hard for you to do it because you let this thing get so strong. So even when you don't think it's a good post, you need to do it anyways if you have that anxious feeling about it, so that that thing gets weaker. And then I would also say, have you like considered maybe doing like a specific goal, like 5 posts a week? Or 1 post a week, whatever you're like. For me, like 1 post a week is enough. Like that's stretching it.
I've set a goal before, and more than once. And,
Me too. Hard
And
to stick with them.
unfortunately, it'll last, like, let's say I'll set a goal to post 5 days consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be post 5 quotes. I'll be good for 2 days.
Right.
And on that third day, you know, the lack of focus or the lack of attention. And then mind you that after, like, if you're if you're into something for so many years and then train yourself not to be in it, it's kind of hard to get on it. You know, like I see a lot of people that are just addicted to social media, where I'm not.
Same.
You know, it's not the first thing that I check when I wake up, and it's not recommended that you check your social media accounts.
Yeah.
And so there's a great disconnect, and I just need to fall back in love with it. And I think that's where I'm struggling, is to that love. We have a love-hate relationship right now, and I want to fall in love with it again, like how I once was, making an impact.
Well, goals are the answers to everything. So I think the reason why you fall off your goal, and me too. So I'll give you an example. I'll do the same thing where I make those kind of goals, like, oh, okay, I want to post 1 Instagram story a week and 1 thing on Instagram a month, and same for Snapchat, same for Facebook, all across the board. And then I fall off maybe after a month, and it's because, number one, like, that's not necessarily a goal. That's like kind of more like a task. But why are you even wanting to post on social media first? So you have to say, there could be a couple things. Maybe 1, you want to gain more following so you can become a social media influencer. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. This is why you want to do it. Or maybe number 2, it's to overcome a fear or anxiety. Like, I'm nervous with putting myself out there. That's why you're making these posts. And then you need to, once you have that, then you can create something where you can measure your progress, because you need to see progress. Because when you make these posts, if you're only getting 10 likes every week, it's hard to see, like, damn, I feel like I'm making no progress. Why am I doing this? But if you know it's to overcome that anxiety, that nervousness, now you can be like, I only got 10 likes, but you know what? I'm getting more comfortable with this. I don't care as much. Boom, boom, boom. And then have maybe a scale, like on a 1 to 10 scale. How do you rate how nervous you felt to make that post? The next week you see, it went from a 5 to a 4. Doing better.
Yeah. And you know, another thing too that I just thought about?
Yeah.
at one point I realized that a lot of people were not seeing my posts, and I think Facebook, the algorithm, have something
That
to do with
happens
that.
too, and that's why you can't beat yourself up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just thought about that randomly. Like, why do I have such a nasty taste in my mouth when it comes to Facebook? And
Yeah.
that's one thing right there as well.
Well, Insta does that too. I think they're all, because Insta is owned by Facebook. They're
Yeah.
always changing their algorithms. But what was I gonna say? Damn. Think it.
I know
Yeah, go on.
this is something that have helped me in the past in terms of doing things that normally I wouldn't do. I think in 50 years, most of the people that know me won't be alive. It sounds harsh,
Right.
but it's very true. So normally, like if I have something that I'm getting ready to do, whether it be a post, something that gets me to do it, to press that post button or that share button, is in 50 years, none of this shit will matters.
No. Yeah.
Fuck it. Click. And that has helped me when I'm able to have that mindset that it won't matter in 50 years to be vulnerable right now.
Right.
That has helped me a lot.
Well, it's both. It will matter, as in the impact that it will have will matter. But as far as you caring, no, that won't matter. in 50 years.
Exactly.
You won't care anymore
Yeah.
about that post. But for me, I want to try to get specific, because I feel like getting specific will really help with facing these goals. So I mostly want to post more on Instagram and like Facebook and Snapchat and post these things due to like just feeling insecure or like kind of scared to post on there.
Yeah.
And specifically like what things about. Just like, just random selfies here and there. Like I'm always like trying to find the best lighting. I have insecurities too here and there about my looks. So just trying to do that, make the perfect post or make a cool workout video, rather than just posting what book I'm reading.
Yeah.
Or just saying like, man, I love coffee. 'Cause I love coffee.
Yeah.
Or just posting, just saying like, I want to pursue this, or what do you guys think about that? Or just putting my thoughts out there that I feel protective over or insecure.
You know what? There's so many reasons why I got off Facebook, but one reason was to be different when I came back and post about meaningful stuff, to pretty much have more content, because my typical post is positivity. Pretty much you're gonna hear tons of quotes, and every now and then you might see a picture or two of me, but I have a beautiful family that I don't share as often. Like, I see some people share their ugly kids. I'm joking. Kids are not ugly. But,
Some are, though. I see some little babies where they're like, oh, the baby's so cute. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, it's not. But, I said I was going to come back and post better content or more content. And I just feel that the content that I have right now is just, I don't want to say too good to post on Facebook, but for whatever reason, it's just hard to share.
Feel like it's good stuff, though?
Yeah, it is good stuff. It is.
Where do you think it should be posted then?
You said when?
No, where?
Where?
Because you said it's too good for Facebook, but like what's a good platform, or maybe in person, seminars, or?
No, well, I'm joking about saying it's too good for Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of a bigger platform than Facebook to showcase, what you're grateful for.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I just wanted some privacy, so I just sheltered my kids and family life for that reason.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think you necessarily need to post about like kids and family, because that is kind of more private stuff. But like as far as for the things that make you anxious or nervous, like those are the things that, at least personally, it bothers me that like I feel like anxious or nervous about those things, and that like I'll criticize them. But I mean, after this, I'm doing it. I'm taking a picture of us, posting on Facebook. Another great podcast. But this one's gonna take a little longer for people to listen to.
Yeah.
Because it gives me like a limit. I already used up all my limit for May for posting podcasts, so I have to wait till June until I can upload this one.
No worries.
Yeah.